So, guys, I want to tell you guys about one of the biggest fumbles of my life. One of the biggest, not the biggest, certainly not the biggest, because I do believe that God gives all opportunities and I don't need to kiss anybody's ass to get up front in terms of my goals and my dreams. However, I did fumble this opportunity, and I sometimes wonder what would have happened if your girl B didn't block me. Let's get into it. So it was sometime a year ago when I started following Bonang. I really loved her work ethic, and I just loved how she always put her best foot forward in terms of presenting. So I started following her, and I put my notifications. On Twitter, like how on Twitter um, you can put on amount notifications so when somebody posts you can interact with them immediately when they post. And I thought to myself, I'd really like to get to know Bonang. I'd really like to befriend her, and I'd really like to work with her one day, because I just started watching her YouTube channel Bedazzled, and I put on my notifications, and every time she would post I would be the first one that comments, so much so that she would interact back. So I used to, post things that are very nice, and just, being her biggest cheerleader. And she would be like, "Oh, thank you." She'd repost my posts. And side note, guys, reposts don't work. I thought if a celebrity reposts you, you are gonna get like a really large engagement. You really don't. People don't care. They only care if Lento show has substance and it's content worthy. But if it's you praising a celebrity, they really don't care, right? So it had been a while of me kind of like trying to forge this friendship between us. And then me trying to forge this friendship, um, I thought, okay, maybe now we're friends. Maybe now I can pitch to her, um, being her assistant, because that's actually what I wanted, right? So I basically, when she the next post that she made, I basically pitched. I was like, "Hi Bonang, I love your work, and I am an avid follower of your YouTube channel Bedazzled. I'd love to work with you as an assistant, and I don't mind working for free." Right? I said that to her, and she didn't reply. She didn't repost. If I wasn't kissing her ass allegedly, she wasn't really giving me or paying me any dust. She just didn't. She wasn't. And I felt like, to some level, I felt like I kind of deserved her to be like, "Oh, if she didn't want to, or she had somebody in mind already." I feel like I deserved some level of like communication, in the sense that, I'm your biggest fan. You know that when you post something, I'm always pushing it forward. You could just literally say, "Oh no, babe, thank you, but I already have someone," or "Thank you, you live too far," something of that sort. Because it's not like I was asking for money; I was just asking for an opportunity. And she just ignored me. So I was like, "Oh, so I mean nothing to you? Okay, bet." So I got mad, and then I took a picture of Pearl Thusi, and I posted this. I was like, Pearl Thusi is the bigger star than Bonang, because I knew that they had, how on Twitter they've had like the longest ongoing rivalry. Nobody knows who's Babangani Patabazwan. So I posted Uguti Pearl Thusi is the bigger star than Bonang, because she's known in an international landscape, whereas Bonang is only big in SA, which is not a lie. It's not a lie that Bonang is only known in SA. Maybe she's known internationally, but not she's not doing any international movies. Like Bonang, honestly, she was presenting. She wasn't presenting in an international level. She was just a really good presenter in South Africa. But Pearl Thusi at the time was doing that movie. What was that movie? There's another movie that she did, that really cemented her in terms of the acting. It was on Netflix. I think it was Queen Sono. Yes, Queen Sono. She was doing that. So I was like, you know, she's a bigger star. If she's doing international films and she's getting paid dollars, she's the biggest star. It's not Bonang. So I was obviously being very catty, because at the end of the day, irrespective, Bonang is still she's still a star. She's still a star, and um, who am I? Like, who even am I? So Bonang saw that, and then she blocked me. And sometimes I think, like, what would have happened if maybe I um, you know, continued interacting with her, and or had I not caught feelings, and even though she ignored me, I basically still kept on trying until maybe one day. However, I believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe that I believe that Bonang is not God, and I believe that one day God will shine on me, and when it's my turn to shine, it will happen. But until then, I do apologize to Bonang. I don't think, and honestly, I feel like she also needs to get over herself. Like, people are not always gonna say nice things about you. You can't block us every single time you say something. But she also has a right to autonomy. So, do whatever you want, girl. do whatever you want, be. But yeah, just thought let me just share the story. Anyway, happy birthday, Bonang, and you're a legend. Goodbye.